Welcome back, students. We're continuing our solutions to 2020. We're moving to question 6 on the foundation paper. Okay, so this is the entire question, so there's no visuals, so we're going to be extra careful of our reading the question for understanding. Okay, so let's start reading it now together. And I'm going to start underlining. I think highlighter is probably a bit overkill and a bit distracting. So Valerie earns €635 each week. She pays income tax at a standard rate of 20%. She pays it out. Find Valerie's gross tax per week. How much tax does she pay every week? Okay, so this is a direct calculation using 20%. So we go 635 multiplied by 20%. And it's as simple as that. We can do that on the calculator. We do 635 multiplied by 20%. And your percentage function is in behind the answer function down here. So use shift. Now that's exactly what we want to calculate. And the answer is €127. That's her gross tax. So the gross tax is the total tax she should pay before any other allowances she might have. Okay, before her tax credit, which is coming up now. So she has a tax credit of €62 per week. Find her net tax. So the net tax is her gross tax minus her tax credit. Okay, so we're going to take 127 and subtract 62 from it to get her net tax. We put that in the calculator and see what it tells us. So quick way of getting the 127 in is that it's in already as the answer. So we can do it like that and we get 65. Okay, that's the answer to that. €65 is her net tax, the amount she actually pays. Continuing on. She also pays PRSI of €11.50. They told us the absolute amount there, there's no calculation. And Universal Social Charge, USC, of $18.80 per week. So these are both expenditures, these are both costs. And the question is, find Valerie's weekly take-home pay. So this is a budgeting question where we have money in and money out. So the main money in is her salary. Let's see, there again, her wages is 635. So 635 is on the positive side, and we're going to subtract everything that comes off that. So we can subtract her net tax, which is 65. We'll subtract 1150, and we'll subtract 1880. And that's our calculation. We'll do that in the calculator. Okay. Be careful when you're putting in decimals to use the decimal place correctly. And this is a redundant 0. We could leave it out. I'll put it in, but you could leave it out. And what is that? 1880. So just to demonstrate that, I'm going to put in 18.8 and stop there. I could put in the extra 0, but it will make no difference to the calculation. So that's her take-home pay per week. She has €539.70. Does that make sense? Is that it? So if this turned out to be 50 cents or €5 million, you would certainly say that doesn't make sense. Okay, but that sounds like a typical weekly wage, so that's fine. It's past the making sense test, and we leave that as our answer. Okay, now going over to the far side to the rest of the question, and this is a part B, so it should be a completely different question probably. So Sonia earns 635 each week. Her take-home pay is $533.40. What percentage of is her take-home pay? So we're turning the ratio 533.4 over 635 into a percentage. Okay, so you take the fraction and you multiply it by 100. And you just plug this into the calculator. So it's straightforward. You're given two numbers and you're asked to find their percentage. Okay, so let's go ahead with that on the calculator. Fraction bar. Oh, I have two fraction bars there now. I'll clear by pushing the AC button. 533. Oh, clear that. Back to fraction bar. I'll have to be more careful. I always find the real calculator is much easier to use than this emulator that I'm using. Look at that, I've made another mistake. 533.4 divided by, and what I'm doing here, there's learning in this. Keep looking at your calculator's display as you're keying things in to make sure that there aren't any accidental mistakes. And you multiply that by 100 and see what it says. Now the answer is a percentage, of course. So what it says is 84, so she pays 84%, or she takes home 84% of her gross earnings. And that's the end of question 7. As always, students, I will see you in the next one.